Professor Zhang, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, it's a great pleasure to see my good friend, Professor Zhang, again. It's a great pleasure also to have this opportunity to offer some remarks to this very important conference, an event that's dedicated to fostering precisely the cross-border thought leadership and innovation that has characterized UK-China relations in recent years. And in that regard, nothing is more prominent today in the China-UK financial cooperation dialogue than the opportunities that we both see from cooperation around China's led Belt and Road Initiative. It was 6 months ago that I took a call from the Treasury, from the Chancellor, inviting me to be his envoy to China's Belt and Road Initiative, and I was delighted to take up this opportunity, given my long association with China through my career at HSBC, and also because ever since Belt and Road, the initiative, was announced by President Xi 5 years ago, the scale of its ambition and its evolution has been fascinating to follow. In fact, I've recently come back from a week in Beijing discussing the Belt and Road Initiative with senior Chinese business leaders and political leaders, 2 days of which were led by the Chancellor himself. And together, we reinforced the UK's support for the Belt and Road's commercial and economic ambitions that offer transformative commercial opportunities to meet the demographic, environmental, and climate change challenges of our age, as well as enhancing economic growth, connectivity, and prosperity throughout Eurasia, East Africa, and beyond. The evolution of Belt and Road, what it means, has been rapid and dramatic. What started in many people's minds somewhat narrowly as trade route definition and reinforcement of those trade routes has migrated to globalization 2.0, focused on building the infrastructure that allows economies to grow and connect to the rest of the world under an overriding vision of shared prosperity, a vision committed to enhancing cross-border trade and investment flows. And when we consider the underlying drivers of the global economy today, it's hard to challenge the ambition or the means to achieve it. Growing urbanization with consequential demand for the transportation, power, and logistics networks to serve it, better use of the planet's scarce resources, investment to meet the lower carbon future signed up to in the Paris Accord, and finally preparation to address the societal implications of the expected 2 billion additional inhabitants of this planet over the next 30 years, largely in the poorer parts of the world. And for all these reasons, the scale of the vision is beyond the resources of any nation, even China, to deliver such an initiative on its own, as President Xi has made clear when stressing the need to crowd in global institutional capital and expertise at scale. So we should think of the Belt and Road Initiative as a China-led global infrastructure development initiative, one that will create opportunities beyond the infrastructure itself, involving all the activities that are spawned by the connections and capacity that infrastructure provides. And how should other countries position themselves against this vision? It's clear with around 100 countries signed up or expressing interest, there's momentum towards this initiative taking shape and moving forward. Many countries seek to be recipients of the infrastructure developments that they are unable to finance on their own. Many countries have capabilities to offer and connections to recipient countries that can facilitate project definition and financing. So what are we doing in the UK to support the Belt and Road Initiative? When I took up my role and had initial meetings both in the UK and in China, I pondered how best to project what the UK could offer. Notwithstanding that we have significant expertise in infrastructure projects, including public-private partnership, it's pretty tough to make that case as the lead offer to a country that has built more infrastructure in the last 10 years than the rest of the world has in its history, and is continuing at a pace not mirrored in the West. But where we can contribute almost uniquely to the Belt and Road Initiative and its vision is with regard to facilitating its envisioned scale. The opportunity is to promote the UK's expertise in building capacity for a programme that cannot be delivered by a single country. And the building blocks of capacity building, the crowding in of investment funds, enhancing the size and the viability of the project pipelines, all encompass the professional skills the UK is admired for. So the dialogue becomes capacity to deliver the vision, particularly for projects in third countries with international partners, will expand if there is due regard to the governance and standards and management skills that international investors look for in complex infrastructure projects. Financial transparency, proof of project viability, clear period reporting of how the project is going, acknowledged experts and auditors, strong risk management, complex insurance arrangements, internationally accepted and understood governance, clarity of dispute resolution and arbitration arrangements, and underlying legal framework and rule of law. So where do we go from here? We've formed in the UK an expert board, which the Chancellor announced last year in the Economic and Financial Dialogue, and this is tasked with providing policy recommendations that will be necessary to crowd in private sector capital and expertise at scale. Secondly, we're establishing an infrastructure financing exchange to provide the staff to the expert board, to provide a focal point for companies to express their interest in being involved and to coordinate them into the project pipeline opportunities. And we're initially focused on 3 work streams: identifying in conjunction with our Chinese counterparts, and indeed we have 2 of the major Chinese banks on this expert board, identifying exemplar projects that will demonstrate the attributes that will be needed to attract international money, working to agree a consistent definition of what constitutes a Belt and Road project, and what are the minimum criteria around viability, legal framework, governance, dispute resolution, and so on, to allow it to be so classified, and working together to agree Belt and Road bond standards that will facilitate liquidity and so build capacity. And collectively, these attributes can, in my view, contribute to the real possibility of the UK and China working together to create a globally recognized Belt and Road asset class. And working together to create such an asset class through project definition, creating internationally accepted financing and bond standards, and ensuring clarity of contract and dispute resolution protections provides the best framework to meet the mandates of the widest spectrum of pension, sovereign and insurance funds globally. Backed, of course, by comprehensive and robust data series, information that will be crucial in helping analysts and asset managers remain alive to the trends and the opportunities that are shaping the Belt and Road Initiative's development across such a broad sweep of geography. And in this way, we can build Belt and Road financing capacity as well as accelerating the creation too of the innovative financing and risk management tools needed to meet the diverse needs of contractors, investors involved. And FinTech will be able to help that in finding ways to crowd in those who have the appetite to take risks that are not traditionally taken today, but can be taken in the future. And our ultimate ambition is to help ensure that the Belt and Road kite mark is synonymous with a robust, high-quality, liquid and standardized global asset class, and more broadly, an affirmation of the benefits of globalization through shared prosperity. I believe there's a great opportunity through harnessing the Belt and Road expertise within China and third countries and building incremental global financing capacity through the international financial and professional services community based in the UK, we can help the Belt and Road Initiative meet its economic and commercial objectives. Convening the discussions, facilitating the partnerships needed to deliver this vision is now the main priority. And we would welcome those of us involved in this to participation of one of China's leading business schools as this work develops, to ensure that the next generation of corporate and financial leaders are well prepared to realize the commercial opportunities associated with this initiative. And I'm encouraged. Why am I confident this can be done? I'm encouraged that in recent years, no 2 countries have done more to prepare global financial markets for the 21st century than the UK and China working together. Our cooperation in areas such as green finance, RMB internationalization, and of course FinTech have delivered tangible benefits to businesses, savers, and investors everywhere. It's worth pausing as to why China and the UK are so prominent in the area of the FinTech. And it's kind of obvious when you stand back. China has the largest number of FinTech users in the world, the largest integration of FinTech with social media, and a total acceptance of society of the value of digital finance. The UK has the most diverse and sophisticated range of financial players in the world that encourages those that want to service those players to come and sit with them and work with them. And now FinTech is not seen as a dangerous competitor to traditional financial institutions, but a colleague, someone that can actually help financial institutions meet their purposes by unlocking capabilities that were impossible before technology came to help. And I think that while most of FinTech so far has been, and most especially in China, has been person to person, the real excitement is going to come in the future in wholesale markets, in traded markets, in trade finance around blockchain, which are beginning to emerge as real possibilities to revolutionize markets that have been so far relatively immune to technology. And in this way, we can reduce cost, we can tailor product more specifically to our customers' needs, we can improve our compliance and therefore reduce the costs of failings, and we can protect the system for bad actors and from activities that we would not wish to see done within the system. I think there's other opportunities for China and the UK to work together in FinTech, because when you think of the digitalization of finance, there are three very different views of data security and data privacy in the world. There's a European view, there's a Chinese view, and there's an American view. And cooperation in working out which is going to be the collaboration view in a complex world, and in a world where digital is, of course, truly global, will regard the kind of dialogue that China and the UK have had over many years. So working together, not just in FinTech, but on Belt and Road, I think, provides the next best opportunities to enhance cross-border trade and legal cooperation, facilitate greater use of international public-private partnerships, and drive the shared prosperity and sustainable development that we both seek. And we should grasp the opportunities. Thank you.